Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial. So when you download the plugin, whether it's a paid one or free light version, you will have two files. One is pravMotion app and another one is pravMotion folder, which is a motion effect template folder. And same goes for free light version also. There are two steps to install plugin. First, copy the app and go to Applications and paste it here. Next, open it by double-clicking it or right-click and open. A small window appears which is just a dummy window, but behind the scenes it registers the plugin so that Final Cut Pro and Motion can see the plugin. Then you quit the app. Next step, copy the pravMotion folder, which is a motion effect template folder, and click here on Go. Then click on Home, then your username folder. And here you will have Movies folder. In Movies folder you will have Motion Templates folder. If you don't have Motion Templates folder, create one exactly like this and create all the internal folders exactly like this. After that, go to Effects and here you can create a new folder with any name. I'll just name this maybe Tutorial. And in this folder I will paste copied templates, and that's it. That's the installation process. And the same process applies for free light version also. Now let's switch to Final Cut Pro and explore the plugin. So in Final Cut Pro, I have one background layer and another one is an image. Let's apply the effect. Go to Effects and search for your folder. And in my case, that will be Tutorial. And in Tutorial, I have both pravMotion and pravMotion Light Effect. Let's apply it to the image layer. Before we explore all the parameters, there are three important points to keep in mind regarding the plugin. First point, there are no keyframes. You can manipulate or adjust the plugin parameters however you want to have your own easing or animation timing or duration, etc. without any keyframe headache. Second point, by default, the plugin animation will always begin from the start of the clip, okay? That means it doesn't matter where the clip is in the timeline. If you apply the plugin, by default, it will animate from the start of that clip. And third point, if you select the transform tool here, you can see the bounding box of this image layer. But the project size is this much. Why does it matter? Well, suppose you want to animate this in X position. Let me just adjust. As you can see, it gets cut off, right? So to avoid that, always make the layer or clip into compound clip, then apply the plugin. Let me remove the plugin here, make it a compound clip. So you can see now that its size is same as the project size. And now you can apply the pravMotion effect. These three things you have to keep in mind while using this plugin. Okay, let's move on. So what constitutes the animation? Well, animation needs a transform property, and that transform property needs to have two values. One is starting and another is ending. So in other words, from value and to value. These are from values, and these are to values. So the animation will take these from values of scale, position, rotation, opacity as a starting value. And it will take these two values of scale, position, rotation, opacity as the animation end values, okay? What else animation needs? Duration. So how much lengthy animation you want to make, that is taken care by this duration parameter. And it's in frames. What does that mean? It means the plugin is frame rate independent. It doesn't care about what your project frame rate is, whether it's 60, 30, or 24, 25. It doesn't matter. If you put 20 here, in duration, the animation will begin from the start of the clip, as I said earlier, and you have put duration 20, so it will animate for 20 frames, okay? If you put 50 here, it will begin from the start of the clip and it will end at 50th frame. If you put 100 here, it will start from the start of the clip and the animation ends at the 100th frame, okay? That is the duration parameter. So next one is time offset. So right now, as I said earlier, by default, the plugin animates from the start of the clip, right? What if you wanted to animate from different time on that clip other than the starting point? That's where time offset comes into play. What time offset does is it shifts the animation forward. So if you put 20 here, so what happens now is instead of starting point of the clip, the animation will begin from the 21st frame, okay? If you put 40 here, it will start from the 41st frame. Got it? So what else you need for animation to make it look smooth and eye-catchy? Yes, easing. And you have lots of easing types to choose from. Quad, cubic, quart, quint, sine, exponential, circular, elastic, back in out, and bounce. You can use any type of easing from these according to your liking to make your animation look attractive and smooth, okay? Alright, let's modify all these values and check the plugin capability now. Now, suppose you want this image to have pop-up animation. Let's do that. Let's change the from scale to 0. And the to scale is 100, which essentially means whatever the current size the image is right now. So if you play now, it will pop up. I don't want it that much big. Let me change the to scale value to maybe 30. That looks fine. Let's hit play. So if you press shift right arrow now, 10, 20, as you can see, it animated for 20 frames because the duration is set for 20 frames. Let me move this clip to start. Press shift right arrow again, 10, 20 frames, okay. Let's offset the time for 10 frames. Let's check now. Okay, now let's press shift right arrow again, 10, it's doing nothing for 10 frames. Press shift right arrow again, 20 frames, 30 frames. So as you can see, it didn't do anything for 10 frames because the time offset is set to 10 frames, and after 10 frames it animated for the duration of 20 frames. Okay, maybe let's put it 50 and let's make it 30 and hit play. Let's shift right arrow to check if it's working correctly. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It does nothing. But after 50 frames, as you can see, the animation starts. Let's shift right arrow. 70, 80. So the animation starts from 51st frame and ends at 80th frame, okay? Now you can see the power of the duration and time offset parameters. Let's check the other parameters also. So if you can see here, there are two on-screen controls. These are position controls. One is for from and another is for to. Let me click and drag it. And if you see at the right side in the plugin, you can see the to position value is changing. Now let's adjust this other control also. And you can see at the right side in the plugin, the from position value is changing. So you can control the position values using the on-screen controls like this, and if you want fine grain control, you can adjust them from here also. Let me make this from scale value maybe 20. So that means it will animate from 20 scale value to 30, and it will animate from this position to this position. Alright, let's make the time offset 0 and hit play. Alright, let's adjust the rotation parameters, maybe something like this. And come forward 20, 30 frames. Adjust it here like this, okay? And let's make from opacity value to maybe 50. Let the to opacity value be 100. Let's hit play. Looks good. Okay, so let's make it back to 100. And let's check the easing types. Let's check cubic out. and quart in out. Next quint in out. Sine out. Let's check the elastic in out. For this, I think it would be better to have more duration to make it smooth. Let's put 50 here. Let's make the rotation 0. Let's check. Looks good. Okay, so let's check back in out and let's put 20 here in duration. Let's check. Okay, good. Let's check bounce out and let me make X position 0 and this one also 0. Let's make 2 scale also 20 and let's check. Okay, alright, so that was type of animations. You might be wondering, what are these two buttons? From to to and to from. Let me explain. This button will copy all these from values to values. And this to from button will copy the to values to from values. Let me make all the values quite a bit different. If you look at all the values of both from and to right now, they are different. And let's press this button. And you can see it copied all these values to these values. So both from and to values are same now. Let me undo. And let's check this button. The values are different for both from and to, okay? Let's click this to from button. And as you can see, it copied all these values to these values. That's what these two buttons do. But what is the use of these buttons? Let me explain. Suppose you want to do a long, seamless, continuous animation. Right now, what it does, it animates from this place to this place, right? Let's make this exponential out. Okay, so it comes from this place to this place. After that, you want this to move from here to here. So how can we do that? For that, we need to have these transform values, right? Okay, let's do that now. Let's split this layer here. Now if you play, it will do the same animation as this one because all the values are same. But in this layer, you have these ending values now, okay? So if you press the to from button, now you have those values as the starting values. And you can move ahead and change the two values here, okay? And you can change the easing type also. You can change the duration, whatever you like. We will not touch the from values. We will only alter the to values for this, okay? So let's play now. As you can see, it looks like one long continuous seamless animation, and that too without any keyframes. Let's build on this animation further. Let's split this one here. And now we want these values as the starting values. So for that, what we will do, press this button and we will get all the starting values. And we want it to move from this place to this place. So just change the two values. Let's move forward a bit. Adjust it here like this. And let's change easing type to maybe sine out or in. Let's play the whole animation. Looks good. Now you can understand what is the importance of these two buttons. It allows you to create seamless animations across same layers. If you don't like this split layer method and you want all the seamless continuous animation in one layer, let me extend this. And if you play now, it does this animation. Now, after a second or so, you want this to move up. So what we can do, we will apply the pravMotion effect again. Let me adjust the inspector here. So this is the second effect. And as I said at the start of the tutorial, by default the plugin animates from the start of the clip. So both these effects are animating from the start of the clip right now. But what we want is, after the first animation, 1 second stay, and then it should move up. So how can we do that? By changing time offset for the second effect. We will calculate the timing roughly to decide from where the second effect should animate. So let's do that. So it animates for 20 frames. And 1 second stay means 30 frames. So 20 plus 30, 50. So if we put 50 here in second effect, time offset parameter, it will not do anything for first 50 frames as you saw earlier in the tutorial. And it will start animation from 51st frame. Keep in mind if you're using a second effect or third effect, you should not touch the from values. You should adjust only two values. Now let's adjust this to move up like this. Let's play and check. That looks good. Now we want it to move from this place to this place. Let's apply the plugin effect again. Now let's calculate the time offset for it. So the second effect started at 51st frame and its duration was 20. So 50 plus 20 is 70. And 1 second stay means another 30 frames. So that will be 100. So let's put 100 in third effect time offset parameter. Now let's move ahead a bit and adjust the position. Remember, you should change only two values, okay? Let's play. And as you can see, one smooth continuous animation and without any keyframe headache. And the light version plugin works the same way as the paid version, but it has limited duration parameter and time offset parameter, and it doesn't have on-screen controls, okay? That's it for the tutorial. And thank you for downloading the plugin. I hope it will be useful for your motion graphic needs. And if you have any doubts or questions, you can contact me. I will be happy to help. Thank you.